Hey guys, I'm Boot. We're in New Jersey, and today I just wanted to ramble a little bit. I had some weird thoughts that I wanted to talk about. I had seen a video today where this guy was talking about, how, Trump was guilty, and yet there wasn't any riots, and there wasn't any mobs, and there wasn't any this and that and the other. And then he starts talking about other presidents and their crimes. Never in the history of, presidents have we ever had a president, commit crimes like this or whatever, or be, sentenced for crimes. And I'm thinking to myself, did we or did we not have a revolution in this country where we overthrew our government, right, to get away from the, government that was oppressing us, and we committed crimes against our government as a way to overthrow the government and start a war in the process, the Revolutionary War. And it was because people felt they were being treated unfairly by their government. And, they were. And there were a lot more serious things, at the time. But now when you think about it, isn't it almost the same thing? Like, our forefathers who fought for this country to be what it is today, they're probably rolling in their graves at what it is today, but they spent their lives, the ends of their lives, in prison cells for committing crimes against their governments. The same thing is true today, in some capacity. Everybody, in one way or another, unless you work for the government, feels that you are slighted by the government. That doesn't mean, we should rise up and destroy things because we are supposed to be more civilized than that. But the amount of unrest in the world today speaks to those times when we overthrew our government because we felt it was unfair. And the fact that we are so divided into our groups, it's insane, because we're so divided and we can't come together and say, hey, our government is treating us unfairly and we should get together as citizens of this country and do something about it or make change. Everybody is too busy screaming, trying to get their voice heard. When we saw the Capitol riots on January 6th, it was just something that changed the world, but it didn't really change much of anything. It just made those people in that group who were tired of the government, who were tired of being oppressed, that took action. That one group. And just think how divided the country is. And the fact that the country is so divided means that we're going to have these much smaller groups. And small groups turn into fanatics and left-wing, right-wing crazies at the end of the day. Because we're so divided. When are we going to get the point? We're not fucking special. Not one of us is special in this world. We're all just people. We're all just trying to get through it. We're all just fighting to get through it. In this country, I would say. In my neck of the woods. And I'm sure in most people's neck of the woods. Atop from I would say probably maybe 15% of people who can pull themselves up by their bootstraps, so to say. When people say kids are resilient, it's really because, that horrible stuff that you went through as a kid, you repressed it. And then to deal with it as an adult, you turn to nostalgia. You want the times that were simpler. You think that's the answer. It's really not. I mean, it kind of is when you think about, we had, people who came together to create societies, and it's just the way that it works is so effed up. And so as an adult, I constantly want to do the things that I'm nostalgic for, because I crave that simpler time when I didn't have to think about all this craziness as an adult, having, almost feeling blindsided as an adult because I didn't know anything about, paying rent, paying bills, paying, doing all these things. I knew what they were, but I didn't understand them in the capacity that I did as an adult. Unfortunately, it does come to one of these things where the more money you might make, the more things you need to spend it on. But, and again, we're taxed so much our paycheck that we already paid taxes on. The company we work for already paid taxes on. Then we're paying taxes to use that money. So we get less and less money. One of those things, the slight of the government. And the government is its own entity these days, like unreachable by humans, by civilians in any capacity to make any calls or changes or what's right or what's wrong. And that alone is kind of scary. Again, it's another group, it's another diversity, but it's not diverse. It's made up of people in that group. So how do we as people come back together? Where do we find that common ground to be human beings again? But that's about all I got for this one. Just my rambling ass thoughts. Anyways, thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Leave comments down below with, what you guys are missing from the channel. And, I'll try to get some of that going. Anyways, talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.